What's up, my Fina loves? It's Miss Fina D coming to you all from Vienna Timber News. Now, you already know the drill and how I do my Amazon lives with Kandi. I do not post the entire Amazon lives. I just post the part that I feel like are important or relevant to the conversations that we normally have on the channel, and also some family updates if I want to, post it. But you can go to Kandi Amazon Live on Amazon to watch the entire video. So recently, Tamar Braxton did an interview with Nene Leakes, and of course, they had to mention Kandi, bring Kandi up. And for copyright reasons, I'm not going to insert what she had to say in here, but I did listen to that segment. I didn't watch the entire interview, just that segment for my video purposes, and I'm going to basically explain what Tamar said. Now, most of you probably already have seen this story being covered, but Kandi did respond. She clapped back on Amazon Live, and so we're going to get into it. But before we get into what Kandi had to say, let's talk about what Tamar had to say. So when Nene brought up Kandi, Tamar said, Kandi, if you are watching this, and we know you're watching this, we're not jealous. We don't hate you. We celebrate you and uplift you and appreciate you for all of your success, but you gotta be a better person. And so, of course, Nene started making faces and all of that, okay? And the reason why you have to be a better person is because of the things you are doing behind the scenes. Basically, in summary, in the public, Kandi looks nice and amazing and people love her and she's doing her thing and she's successful and all of that. But behind the scenes, allegedly, Kandi's doing things to stop people back and meaning money and opportunities and all of these different things. Things that Nene Leakes have also complained about, okay? Tamar continuing that Kandi lies behind the scenes, and then she used the support that she have with the public to manipulate people's opinion. So basically, even though Tamar needs to take accountability for the reason why the public view her the way that they view her based on her actions, she's saying that because she have this persona where people feel like she's messy, which we have a long list of things to confirm that yes, you are messy. She's saying that because Kandi have a better reputation. Every time Kandi does something wrong, because Kandi have this solid reputation and connection with the public, it's very easy for people to say, oh, blame Tamar because Tamar is messy and Kandi is right. She's not wrong. And whatever Kandi says happened because of the public opinion towards Kandi. Kandi have this advantage. And so because Tamar have the disadvantage based on her own actions, like take accountability, girl. She's saying that Kandi uses that to persuade the public opinion. And when Tamar brought up she want Kandi to admit that she lied, and until Kandi can admit that she lied, and how Tamar apologized to Kandi a few times during a certain conversation they had, then no, I'm not willing to sit down with her. Kandi have to come out in the public and admit that she lied. So Nene said, well, I would love to sit down with Kandi. And Tamar is like, well, I won't until she admits that she lied. Now, what Tamar is referring to, Kandi accused Carlos King of trying to steal the rights to her story, Escape story, and do their movie and all of that, and just be messy. And she did not like that, and you all know that story, okay? So Tamar was a part of the topic on Dish Nation, and of course she responded and said something about it, but she did not keep it in the professional space. Hey, it's my job, I had to talk about it. No, she brought it to social media, and she posted in her Instagram story, my friend, she tagged Carlos King, who don't have to steal nobody, nothing. There goes Tamar again, inserting herself in other people's business and mess that have nothing to do with her. There's nothing wrong with defending your friends, but when it comes to a situation that you know nothing about and all you've heard is a one-sided story, stay away from it. And she went ahead and inserted herself in this mess again, the same way how she decided, I'm going to defend my friend Toya and her husband. And now where's that husband? Yes, he's the ex-husband because everything K. Michelle said he did to her, he allegedly did the same thing or attempted to do the same thing to Toya, and we witnessed some of his behavior on Marriage Boot Camp. But there goes Tamar, who herself been through domestic violence, decided to call K. Michelle a liar and defend Toya because, oh, I have never seen her husband behave that way. And once again, K. Michelle was right, and that's the reason why K. Michelle called her a muppet, and you had Tamar Braxton crying on the reel talking about, do I look like a muppet and all of that. And K. Michelle just called her a muppet again a few days ago because Tamar always wants to defend people and jump in other people's drama that have nothing to do with her. Pay attention to the flyer on the screen. You will see that Escape was headlining this tour. Of the tour that Tamar Braxton was also a part of. As you can see, their name is in bold and you can see them. And then Tamar's name is over there at the bottom, okay? So what people are thinking is that when Kandi and Todd and Escape got to the concert, allegedly what most people think happened is that Kandi, Todd, Tamar, they all crossed paths because they were all performing, excluding Todd. They allegedly exchanged some words. So Tamar allegedly accused Kandi and Todd for trying to get her removed from the show and stop her bag, meaning her money. Okay, so that's one problem. Another scenario could be, can you please stop bringing us up in interviews and your Instagram lives?
What about you and Kandi? Are y'all cool? You know what? I've never had a problem with Kandi before. We've always been oil and water. When I say oil and water, I mean that we just ain't never been the same kind of girls. Like, she's never been my type of girl that I would hang out with. You know what I'm saying? And I probably ain't never been the type of girl that she would hang out with. You get what I'm saying? I do. But as far as that, as anything else, it's always, we work well together. We get how each other are. And I always thought it was some respect there because it's like we see each other. So I got it. We got some respect for each other. Cool. Recently, she was out saying a lot of things. I'm not exactly sure why, because I never said anything about her. Kandi just can't be on my side for nothing.
I have to say, I kind of sided with Nene on this.
She was the one who was the head of, they wanted to all ice me out of this season. All of them had a pact that none of them would talk to me. How are you? I'm good. She could never, ever say, Nene was right about this.
I heard Nene say that she feels like a lot of the girls have held grudges with her longer than they've held with other people that she felt like has done more. With that point, I can agree with her.
News. Nene is going on tour with me. She is going to be the host of the tour.
Kandi, you sympathized with Nene. Can you understand why that would be confusing to some people like Sheree because of what you went through last year? Because of what you went through last year?
Yeah, comedians, a lot of times they do say inappropriate things, so that's why I just didn't take it.
Receipts, girl, what are you doing over there?
And don't get me started on the clips of all of the times Nene just blamed Kandi for everything and the reason why she wasn't on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So that was the perfect environment for Tamar to feel comfortable enough to even talk about Kandi that way, okay? But I might throw some of the Nene clips at the end for those of you who missed it or need to be reminded. But I did include a little bit of the Nene clips in that video, throwback, videos of Tamar, just so you all could understand that that was the perfect environment for the both of them to have that conversation, because the both of them are not here for Kandi, okay? Well, this is what Kandi had to say on Amazon Live.
Wellesley says, how do you feel with everybody keeping your name in their mouth? You are that girl.
Oh, that's a good one.
So, how do I feel? I feel very much
Love.
Do I feel loved?
That's all I can take from it.
Ooh. I don't be feeling love when I first, when people give me the clips. Now, to be clear, child, hey, and then don't you hate when somebody be like, I know you watch. First of all, let's be clear why I would be watching. Would watch because I follow Jen. I see, some of the stuff that's on the blogs, not because I follow you. Okay, to be clear. And of course, you're on the blogs because you're talking about me. So of course, when I scroll the blog, it's coming up in my algorithm.
This first very small response was during an interview when Tamar brought up Kandi. She said, and I know you're going to watch this. I know you're watching. Making it seem like Kandi is out here researching her name and then going to keep up with Tamar when she over there got 150 different things going on. So she's just explaining because that part was also, I'm sure, included in the clips that she saw on the blog pages or that she was tagged into. So that's what she's responding to. Of course, I'm going to see the clips if you're talking about me and I'm on social media on these different blog pages and people are going to send them to me or tag me in it. That doesn't mean you're that important for me to go and search to watch an entire interview to hear what you had to say about me. These clips were sent to me or I saw it on the blog pages like everyone else because I do keep up with the media and the blog. So don't flatter yourself with the whole, and I know you're watching Kandi, and I know you're going to hear this. So that was her first response. But then someone that's very important to her team came into the room to basically let her know, Kandi, okay, listen, don't do it because all's going to happen is these clips are going to go all over social media and then the entire conversation is going to get repeated because now you are giving them exactly what they're looking for. So go ahead and pull a Beyonce and just ignore these people and pay them dust. So let's get into that part.
Don Juan just walked in the room, so I will not say nothing else. He doesn't want me to address things. And it's so funny because other people who are very important to me hit me to make sure that I do not respond. So I told y'all I'm trying to be on my Beyonce. But my birthday just happened and I'm in my last year of my 40s and I really wanted to respond. Because, you at that age, when you start getting at that age where you really don't care, you know what I'm saying? You really want to just air people out with facts and receipts. You know how to. But the businesswoman in me, Beyonce in me, because she keeps it to a higher standard where she don't even respond to the things that you feel like, nah, you might have should have let them have it on that one. Beyonce don't do that. So I try to use her as a guiding light, a beam of light, to say, if we all had that energy, all that fly above energy. Sometimes I just have to play my own song in my head to keep myself. So, for those of you who want to know how I feel, yeah, that's how I felt in the moment. But I had to quickly regain my senses. It's like, what am I doing? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm having a good time. I'm living my best life. As you see, I was on a trip this weekend, and I'm going on another trip this weekend. So really, I'm in a place where if it's really not in the most positive and fun, I'm not doing it. Ooh, okay. Anyway, Beverly Irwin says, will you sit down with Nene on her talk show?
We invited her to speak on it.
We have invited her to do Speak On It in the past, and she never did speak on it. So why would I go do her show and she wouldn't even do mine? I think it's kind of a hand-in-hand thing, right? If people show you love and support, you want to show love and support them as well. They don't do that to you.
First and then...
Yeah. She comes speak on it, then I'll do her show. How about that? How about that? Okay. So, let's move right along. Because we said we was keeping it positive in these comments, right? We keeping it positive.
And since we're talking about Nene and her show on YouTube and all of that, let's just do a reminder of when Nene called Kandi the COO, whatever word, and let's just go ahead and remind you all. And the reason why I said this was the perfect environment for Tamar to say what she had to say, because Nene isn't here for Kandi, and then we're going to go ahead and end it. I will include everything else Kandi had to say in the separate video and just keep this one Nene, Tamar, and Kandi focused. But I'm glad that she didn't say too much. And, you know, her manager walked in the room and told her to relax, just to not give it any more life. You know, people moved on from the topic. You responding is just basically bringing the topic back all over again. Just fly above, like she said, and move on. Kandi been on the tour, you already know, promoting her new show. And of course, they're going to ask her questions about Nene Leakes and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So they asked her to address some of the things that Nene have been saying in the press about racism, Bravo, Andy Cohen, and all of that. So Kandi decided to talk about the part where Nene basically called her a C word. I can't say it, but it's C-O-O, yes, I finish it. Called her that word. Basically, Nene used the code Terry Crews.
You know what? I know we had an opportunity, and we still have that opportunity, to work in numbers and make things work for everyone. But we have a Terry Crews on our cast. And I'll let you guys figure out who that is. Terry Crews needs to stop. Stop, Terry Crews. Miss Crews. Okay, stop, girl. You are not a leader. And the whole Terry Crews thing, she's talking about Kandi. She said there's somebody on our cast, not in the franchise, on our cast. Okay? And then she said you ain't no leader. Kandi is the only one currently on the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast with so much pulled over there at Bravo. And then not to mention the countless of opportunities and shows that Kandi was given by Bravo. Just blame Kandi for her demise. Because you have someone else over there that's taking opportunities that's coming to the people that you claim are a big star. You have that person taking their opportunities for themselves, okay? Or taking those opportunities and making them disappear. Now see, we ain't gonna be able to stand for that. Nene is talking about Kandi right now when she said that, you know, somebody else is taking all of the opportunities. Basically, it's like being called a sellout, okay? You side with those people in power who just happen to be white, who are doing minorities dirty, and you are assisting them in doing their dirty work, okay? That's a huge accusation to make and call somebody, but there's no other person on that cast that have such a close relationship with Andy and them in position like that but Kandi. And that's why, you know, they had the little situation. I'm just going to throw it allegedly out there because she didn't say Kandi name, but she's talking about Kandi. And that's, I'm going to stick with that. Now, for those of you who are confused about the Terry Crews reference and you're not on Twitter and you haven't been keeping up with what he's been doing, most of you are familiar with Terry Crews from White Chicks, but he's been in a lot of movies, different shows. When Gabrielle Union was on America Got Talent as a judge, Terry Crews was on there with her, okay? And so she was let go. He was doing an interview, and when he was asked about Gabrielle Union suing the show, suing NBC for, you know, racism, a toxic work environment, and all of these different things, he could have simply said, listen, man, my experience over there is different. However, it doesn't mean that her concerns aren't valid just because I was treated differently. So far from my experience, you know, I'm good. I don't have nothing bad to say about the network or the people that I've worked with. But I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know,
Gabby is wrong because we are two different people, different experiences and things like that, and then just continue in a positive way. But I'm not her. I can't speak for her, but I wish her the best, okay? That would have been a great answer. It was basically, the company is great. The people there are great. Basically, the way how he responded, even though I understood what he was trying to say, the way how he said it was almost like, I'm going to defend, Massa and keep my job and save myself. And, Gap girl, you are on your own. Basically, when Gabrielle Union was there for him and supported him during the Me Too movement, where he said that, this behind the scenes, I think an agent or someone very powerful in Hollywood groped him at a party. And when men were laughing at him saying, why is Terry Crews suing another man? He's so big, he's muscular, he could have punched a guy in the face. And Terry was like, I didn't do that because it was before I was this well-known Terry Crews. And this man had the power to end my career before it started. So out of fear, I didn't say anything. He and the guy settled out of court and all of that. And Gabby was one of the women who were like, why are men and people laughing at a man who's being transparent and saying, I too was abused? It's not only women who go through situations like this. So now that she needed him, especially as a black man in this climate, for him to turn his back on her. And then he's been tweeting some interesting things on Twitter and getting in some interesting conversations. So basically people feel like, it's like being called a sellout, okay?
But they talk to the people behind our backs. I mean, we don't.
So Kandi said in the interview, that's the only thing out of everything she said that pissed me the bleep off. And she was cursing because she was upset. She said, how can you call me that? Basically, I'm out here advocating for black people. I have businesses where I'm giving black people jobs. Okay, I'm giving back to our community. When the whole situation was going on and the movement and Black Lives Matter and all of that, I introduced different initiatives to Bravo. I sat on multiple panels and all of that. So how dare you even call me that? Just because I have a decent relationship with the network and you ruin your chances in your relationship with the network doesn't mean you get to go and call me that. And that's the issue that Nene been having for a long time with her case. She's constantly contradicting herself and her message. That's what Kandi said in that interview. Now, there's another interview where her response was longer, and I want to get to that interview. So can't come back and say, oh, they treated me unfairly because you didn't get something else that you wanted, or you didn't like however your contract was set up that particular year. You can't go back and negate everything else that they've done for you in your situation. So that's why I just cannot agree with that. I mean, I know a lot of women at the time, now we got new people, but at that time, we still had about 4 or 5 of us who's been there for a long time making good money. I was just like, yeah, how does that work? What I mean? It's like not one person is doing well on the show. Basically, multiple women were doing well. So for Nene to go around claiming I'm the HBIC.
Are you good with Kandi? I never know where I stand with these girls. My name carries weight. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. So it's their time. So I'm sure you guys will be hearing a lot of stuff. And of course, they have to use my name because I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Just call me Nene Mayweather. And you understand what I mean. Everybody want to come for the champ. So I'm a champ over here, so they trying to come for me.
I'm making more money. All of you are peasants. Y'all know the story. Let me continue. Kandi did not say that part. I'm saying that part, okay?
Don't get me started with Nene consistently contradicting herself. Most of you have seen those videos. For those of you who missed it, go to the Ira HOA playlist to watch it. But that's the latest with Kandi as far as her attempting to respond to Nene and Tamar and then catching herself and realizing I have too much going on to entertain the nonsense and BS, okay? And she's gonna fly above it. Also, Kandi really didn't have to respond because social media handled it for her. Both of them were dragged, so much so to the point where Nene hopped on, not live, but did a video about the backlash from the interview. So let's get into that.
Hey, you guys. Okay, it's your girl, Nene Leakes. Okay, so listen. The Tamar Braxton video is up right now. Okay, so let's talk about the Tamar Braxton interview real quick. So, the Tamar Braxton interview is pretty much Tamar being Tamar. If you know Tamar, or if you have followed Tamar, Tamar has a lot to say about a lot of things, and that's okay. I mean, everybody has their opinion, and when you are interviewing someone, okay, let me just say this to you guys. I am not, I've not been interviewing for years, okay? But when you are interviewing someone, even when I'm being interviewed, people ask questions. So I ask questions. She has the right to answer them if she wants to, and if she don't want to, she doesn't have to answer them. It's okay with me. See, over here on the Nene Leakes show, we are not a got you type of interview session. I want to have girl talk, or if I'm talking to guys, I want to have some men talk. Like, we just want to talk and keep it real. So if I didn't ask the questions, you know what the comments would be saying? Why you didn't ask her about this? Or why you didn't ask her about that? I asked Tamar about a lot of things. Now, all the things didn't make it in the show because Tamar requested that some things be taken out. So once you ask, I want to be cool. I mean, I'm not trying to be in a bad place with anybody. If you said some things and you're uncomfortable with them and you want us to take them out, I consider that. And she gave me her reasoning for certain things that she wanted out, and I took them out. But we talked about a number of things, okay?
Anyways, I'm wishing all of you well and take care.
Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also, turn notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.